Okay, so we are going to work on some 6th grade math. We're going to take some notes from the workbook. So if you don't have your workbook, that's okay. We can still do it because you have the notes we're going to do together, and then there's a component in the packet. So we're going to put 6th grade math, and it's going to be May 18th. Make sure you put your name on it. Okay. So we're going to talk about paying for college. So that could be like your title. I'm just going to do bubble letters because, you know, it's fun. And I can do it pretty fast. So you don't have to, obviously. Paying for college. Oops, my G's kind of Get the idea. Okay, so there are many ways to pay for school. Juan already has some money set aside, his savings, to pay for college, but he needs to find additional funds. So we're going to do a definition of savings. It's money set aside. And it could be for college or a car or a house or just emergencies. Okay, he needs to find additional funds to pay the cost of tuition at the school he wishes to attend. He might choose to apply for student loans, borrowed amounts that he will have to repay, usually with interest. So we're going to do student loans. And it's borrowed money. To be repaid. Usually with interest. Okay. All right, let's go. We'll look at number 1. If you don't have your book, that's okay. I'm going to read it to you and we'll work it out over here. The college of his choice has an annual tuition of $13,000. If Juan attends college for 4 years, how much will he need to pay altogether for tuition? So I'm going to just say $13,000 per year for 4 years. And all I'm going to do is multiply. I'm going to do 13,000 times 4. And some of you have had me and they know about the magic zeros, so I'm going to use those magic zeros. I've got 1, 2, 3 magic zeros, so I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 magic zeros here. 4 times 3 is 12. I'm going to carry my 1. 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So he would need $52,000. Number 2, Juan has $15,000 in savings account to help pay for college. If he uses the entire amount, how much more will he need to pay for 4 years of college? So we're going to just take, this was the total amount, total for 4 years of college. We're going to subtract his $15,000. I'm going to let you do that. That's his savings. And then this right here will be how much he needs to borrow. Okay? Easy breezy? All right. I'm going to let you do that, work that one out. Number 3, oh, that was number 2. Okay, number 3. Juan borrows $11,000 to help pay for the second year of college. If the loan has an annual interest rate of 6.5%, how much interest would he owe at the end of 1 year if he does not make any payments? And it gave us a hint, 6.5% of 11,000. So we're going to do 11,000. Now I can't just leave 6.5% the way it is. It's 6.5%. I need to do the Dr. Pepper. Do you remember Dr. Pepper? I need to go from a percent to a decimal. So I need to move my decimal this way, 2 places. This way, 2 places, and I can get rid of the percent now. I can put my decimal here, but I need to put something right here, so I'm going to have to put a 0. So now I can multiply 0.065. Okay, no problem. I'm going to count, though. I'm going to get rid of my decimal in my multiplication problem, so I don't have to worry about it. So I have to know when I'm done, I need to move my decimal 1, 2, 3 places. 1, 2, and 3, right? Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to do 5 times 0, which is 0. 5 times 0 is 0. Yes, we could do magic zeros, it would be fine. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 1 is 5. 5 times 1 is 5. I need a placeholder right here. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 1 is 6, and 6 times 1 is 6. I don't need to do this 0, it's just going to be a bunch of zeros. It's not going to change my answer. So now I'm going to add 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 5 plus 0 is 5, 5 plus 6 is 11, carry my 1, 6 plus 1 is 7. Now I need to move my decimal, which is right here, because I just because I don't see it, it doesn't mean it's not there. It's like when you have socks inside your shoes. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and 3. So my answer is, let's see, that's how much interest he would have to pay if he makes no payments. Number 4, how much will Juan owe altogether on the loan at the end of his second year of college? All right, so we're assuming that he paid for the first year. We're not going to count the first year because he had enough in savings to cover it. So we are going to say that because he borrowed the $11,000, we need to have that here plus interest. He borrowed, and this, or student loan, and then plus his interest, which was $715. Do you see how I lined it up? My decimal was right here. If I changed this right here, it would be $715. And then I'm going to leave that for you to answer. All right, so we've completed 893. We're going to do page 894. We will do the examples there, and then your independent work is on page 895, which I will do some of those with you. So I'm just going to put page 894, 6th grade. Oops. Math. I was thinking math and grade at the same time, and I'm going to put my name. Okay, so I'm going to read. It says student loans require repayment. There are other options that can help pay for college that do not require payment. Grants are awards from nonprofit organizations, and scholarships are awards for good performance. Neither grants nor scholarships require repayment. Work study is a program providing financial aid in return for student labor. All right, so we're going to do an example, or we're going to look at it, and then we'll work out the other example. Victor wants to attend a four-year university with an annual tuition of $14,850. He has $17,000 in savings and earned a scholarship for $4,000 for each year of college. Here, I'm going to put this in front because we're not going to work at this first one, and we'll work the next one. How much more does Victor need to pay for tuition for all 4 years? So they did the tuition for the 4 years, $14,850. That's for 1 year. Times 4, that was $59,400. We subtracted the amount that he had in savings, and then he got a scholarship. So they subtracted the $4,000 scholarships. So this is how much money he would need to pay for the 4 years. All right, so the advantages and disadvantages of Victor using a student loan, grant, or work study for the remaining $26,400. Student loan requires repayment, usually with interest. Grant does not require repayment, but Victor would have to apply for a grant. It is often easier to obtain a student loan than a grant. Work study does not require repayment, but Victor would have to work while he went to school, which could interfere with his studies. So those are the pros and cons. All right, so we're going to do Melanie down here. Melanie wants to attend a 2-year technical college. The annual tuition is $4,720. She has $3,800 saved and earned a grant for $1,900 each year. How much more does she need to pay the tuition for both years? Okay, so we're going to do that one. So let's see, tuition is $4,720. Then she has savings of $3,800 and a grant for $1,900. So I could add these two up, and then it'll give me my yearly, how much she gets per year. So this is 0, 0, 9 plus 8 is 17, 3, 4, and 5. So this is how much money she had saved for 1 year, for the first year, I should say. But we're trying to do 2 years. She will continue, and she will get another grant for $1,900. So I'm going to go ahead and add that grant. So that's another $1,900. So we've got there, 9 plus 7 is 16, 5, 6, 7. All right, so with her savings and the grants for the 2 years, she will have $7,600. Okay? But tuition is $4,720 per year. So we have to multiply that times 2 because they want to know for 2 years. So we've got 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. Okay, so for her to go to school for 2 years, if she had nothing, it would be $9,440. She has $7,600, so we're going to subtract $7,600, and then we're going to know how much she needs more, how much more she needs. 0 minus 0 is 0. 4 minus 0 is 4. 4 minus 6, I can't do it. I gotta borrow. The 9 becomes an 8. The 4 becomes a 14. 14 minus 6 is 8. And 8 minus 7 is 1. So she would need $1,840. Yeah, these are real world though. So this is like stuff that you actually really need to know. All right, so we're going to go on to page 895. I'm not going to do all of it with you. I'll do a couple with you, and then you're going to have to do the rest. But I will read them to you. Okay, so we're going to look at number 1. Samuel wants to attend a 4-year university with an... Sorry, having technical difficulties here. All right, Samuel wants to attend a 4-year university with an annual tuition of $16,700. He has $21,000 in savings and earned a grant for $6,000 each year of college. How much more does Samuel need to pay for the tuition for all 4 years? Okay. Okay, so this one is just like the one we just did. I'm just gonna give you the formula and you're gonna figure it out. So he needs 4 years of college. So he's got tuition times 4. Okay, you're gonna do that. And then you're gonna do the grants. Grants times 4. And then your savings. And then I'm going to show you how to do all that. So then when you get these totals, you're going to take your tuition minus grants. You're going to get something. And then minus savings. And then you'll know your answer. So that's number 1. Number 2 is just to explain. It's already over on page 894. It says, explain the advantages and disadvantages of Samuel using a student loan or a scholarship. And it says it exactly over on page 894, part 2. All right, Mei Ling wants to attend a 2-year university with an annual tuition of $8,250. She has $5,500 in savings, and I think you're just going to use the same formula. She has $5,000 in savings and earn a work study for $3,500 per year. So basically, we're going to do the same thing, but I'll give you the new formula. Instead of savings, it's going to be a work study. So we'll go to number 2. So it'll be tuition Oh, she's only going 2 years, though. She's going 2 years. And then she has work study. Times 2. And then she has savings. So again, you're going to do the tuition minus the work study minus the savings. Okay. And number 4, Mei Ling will take out a student loan to pay the additional costs. So whatever this is here, you are going to do the interest. Remember the interest thing? So that's going to be this, and it's going to be times. We're going to do, I'll help you out with the 6.25%. We're going to do Dr. Pepper. Okay, we're going from percent to a decimal. So we're going to move our decimal 1, 2 places. So I got to put a 0 here. I have to put my decimal here, and I get rid of my percent. So whatever my answer here is, I'm going to take that times 0.0625. Okay, and that'll be my answer for that part. And then 5 is another explain. Number 7, Lewis will attend a 4-year university. The annual tuition is $13,875. The table shows the methods of payment that Lewis is considering to help pay for tuition. Describe one possible combination of methods that Lewis could use to pay for college. Any answer is correct as long as you're using the chart. So he could, he could use all his savings. He could, it's 4 years. So you do need to figure out how this amount times 4. And then maybe he uses all of his savings. That starts. So you subtract that. Then maybe he gets a grant every year. Maybe he also does the work study every year. Just, you know, explain your answer and do what you think. No answer is incorrect on that one. All right, so we're going to go here. Dun, dun, dun. All right. So we took notes, so we should have a lot of this here already. If we don't, we're going to, we'll be easily able to find it. All right, so we're talking about paying for college. Write definition in your own words. Tuition, scholarship, student loan, we talked about all of those things. So the student loan is the one I'll help you with. It's money that you borrow for school. The other two you can figure out. And if you're not sure, it's going to be on page 894. It's going to tell you about scholarship. And then tuition, we've talked about that all throughout. What is tuition? What is that? Okay. Yeah. All right, number 2, determine the amount needed to pay. 2 years of tuition at $3,500 per year and a total $2,000 total scholarship. I'll do this one, you'll do this one. So we got $3,500 and they're going to go to school for 2 years. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry my 1. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 1 is 7. So to go to school, it's $7,000. They got a $2,000 scholarship. So we're going to subtract the scholarship. That gives us $5,000 to pay. You're going to do this part. 4 years, the tuition is $7,250, so that'll be times 4, and you'll subtract the $12,000 scholarship. These are all the same, so I'm going to let you figure these out. 4 years of tuition at $9,500 per year, 4 years of room and board at $5,000, and a $20,000 scholarship. 2 years of tuition of $2,500 per year, 2 years of room and board at $5,000, and a $7,000 scholarship. Okay, we're going to use the Gridable to answer this question, so it's going to be another one we're going to do. Annabelle wants to go to a 4-year college with an annual tuition of $17,000. She has saved $10,000 and earned a scholarship of $2,000 per year. How much more will Annabelle need to save to pay for her first year of college? Okay, so this one is pretty easy because we're only talking about the first year. So she's going to go to school at $17,000 per year. She's saved $10,000, so I can subtract that. And that gives me $7,000. And then she has a scholarship for $2,000. So I can subtract that. So she needs $5,000. And I just need to make sure that I load it from the back, from the decimal. 1, 2, 3, and 5. All right, so you're going to list the advantages and disadvantages of using student loans. Again, that's on page 894. And if you don't have page 894, we did talk about some advantages of the student loans. Obviously, one of the pros is you get your money to go to college. Disadvantage would be, obviously, that you got to pay it back. And what's another disadvantage? It's got interest. All right, so I think that finishes math for this week.